that you're in the way, and he tries to make sure that you don't get hit, and in the process, it just kind of ruins the attack, and it's all your fault, Hawk.
Wow. Would have thought he'd have the
Meanwhile,
sense to
Earth
come-
Elemental still really dislikes Mr. Mr. Dragon Guy. Yeah, he really dislikes Mr. Dragon Guy. So it's going to be 1d6 plus 4. 5! Almost undoing the channeling that just happened.
Almost.
But, yeah, not quite.
No, only for one member of the party.
You are no longer staggered. And you know what else? You know what else?
What?
You get sneak attack because you're flanking.
Ooh.
So, Mr. Rogue, why don't you roll your first sneak attack of the campaign?
Yay! What do I do for sneak attack?
You have to connect with your weapon, and then if you do, which you should because you have a +2 for flanking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, +2 on the attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
+2 on the attack in addition to whatever bonuses you already have.
Okay. Oh.
You get really excited that you're like you can attack for the first time. You see your opening. You see like images flash in front of your eyes, you completely destroying this Earth Elemental, and you get just too excited and you like stumble over yourself. You nearly drop your sword. You like bump your head on the Earth Elemental, and he turns back and looks at you, and you just kind of sheepishly back up and don't actually attack. Tarm,
You be cruel.
what's your response to this embarrassing display from the rogue?
Tarmakos diplomatically decides to make it look like he wasn't watching.
I was sneak attacking.
I'm sneaky.
Guys, don't look at me! I'm sneak attacking! Guys, just look away!
Tarmakos takes
Guys,
a 5
ruined
foot
it by
step.
watching me!
Tarmakos takes a 5 foot step and swings his sickle at the bogger
Okay.
and or blighter.
Can you get like double flanking?
You can't get double flanking, no.
Uh,
Well, I
Like,
mean,
if
you can
there's-
have 2 different pairs of
there's-
people flanking,
right.
but you can't, like,
I mean, if someone was
that hits, roll me damage.
What's crit for sickle? Is it 19 or is it just 20?
Pretty sure it's just 20. On your sheet it says just 20, but I'll look it up for you.
Does it say anything on my sheet? It just says times 2.
Because that's why. That's why I think it is. I'll look on Anna's sheet, though. No, just 20.
Okay, so it's a hit then.
Yep. Hit. Roll me damage.
So 1d6 plus. Oh no, -1. -1. Oh, good.
You see a pebble kind of fall off the shoulder.
Helping!
I managed a net and positive number.
Hernia.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Tarm, you've really contributed to the team.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, like everyone like gives him a pat on the back because the old man came in and he was like, like manages to do some damage. But don't worry, just to let you know for the future, there's no way that you can do negative damage. You always do at least 1 if you hit with an attack.
Oh, that roll was worth it.
So basically, what you're saying is you did the worst you possibly could.
Yeah. You
Wow,
accomplished
let's
it
see-
all by
Let's
yourself,
see you
though.
do better,
So.
Hawk. It's
No,
your
that's what
turn.
you said. Don't look at me.
Let's see you do better, Hawk. It's your turn.
I can guarantee I won't. Okay, rinse and repeat.
Yes.
Rinse, repeat.
You don't wanna get a flanking attack?
What, me?
Yeah. With your punching daggers. Or you just want Nihilus to attack?
No, I'm gonna have him attack because I can guarantee if I go over there, I'm gonna get pelted across the map.
Okay, you have guidance. You have +8 on your bite and +2 on your tail slap.
Okay, so rinse and repeat. Right, 16.
That connects.
Sweet. And 18.
That connects. Roll me some
You can drink.
damage.
I can.
Not here, you can't.
So 3 on that one.
Hey, Crane, I went to your country and I could drink.
7 on that one.
Alright. You'd bloody him if this was 4th edition and he was a fleshy creature.
Lol.
But he's not, and we're not, so he's gonna smack your Eidolon upside the head again. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Um,
So he like lifts up. He's like super mad now. So he like lifts up both hands, clasps his hand, like he lifts up both his arm, clasps his hand together, and just like puts all his effort into a single downward smash. And he like catches your Eidolon like at the base of his neck and just like slams his head into the ground. And your
Oh.
Eidolon is barely conscious, wobbling on his feet at a single health point remaining.
Okay.
And now it is Beaker's turn.
Beaker, do his thing.
Hey,
Sorry,
Beaker!
just quickly.
can-
When is there an opportunity? When do opportunities for a reflex save for half damage turn up? What sort of attacks are they?
Those are ones that say make a reflex save. So
Okay,
if
so
you
it's
were to, so technically, well, actually no, he wasn't damaged by any of them. But if he was caught under an archway, like Tarm was with the magma elementals, if he was caught under there and he made a reflex save, then he would have gotten half of the damage normally. But since he has that feat, then he wouldn't have gotten any. He would have just like nimbly dodged out of the way of the falling lava.
No problem. Okay.
Hey, B-Crew! You have an opportunity to do sneak attack damage! Why don't you take your first sneak attack damage of the campaign?
Why don't you take my first sneak attack damage of the game? And
Wow.
rude implication.
Okay. Tarm! What is your response? It's from someone who
Tom.
can't hit something.
Tom's cursing himself for wasting that summon monster before because he's quite worried about the Eidolon getting hurt further. So he he does channel again.
Beaker saves the day.
Okay, this would not get an attack of opportunity, so you're free to do it there.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and roll.
Blah.
10, there we go.
Goodness.
Beaker is back up to full. Eidolon is up to 11, and I think everyone else is up to full already.
That might be the last one I can cast today.
Am I up to full?
Yep.
Ooh.
I think it's 3 plus your charisma modifier. So I think that you are. I think you have 4 left. At least I think it's 3 in your charisma modifier. It would be if you're a cleric.
I think it's just 1 plus your charisma modifier. It says on the website anyway.
Yeah, it's that's probably
That's 5,
right.
so I've got probably 1 more, I think. No, I've done 2 today, and I did 1 in the last one, so now I've got 2 left.
Yes, you have 2 left. Okay. Hawk. Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Alright, roll it. +8 +2.
26.
There we go.
Does the tail also gets that, doesn't it? So
It's +2.
Yeah.
For flanking. Nope. Bite. Roll me some damage for the bite.
8. Max
There we
damage.
go. Max damage. He manages to latch on to part of one of the stones that makes up what appears to be this earth elemental's chest. He pulls it out, and kind of like a Jenga tower, half of the earth elemental's chest kind of falls out, and he looks down, and then he looks back up, and he looks very angry that suddenly half of him is missing. That was very important.
What is exposed in like the hole that is missing?
The other side.
What's in between?
Air.
Okay, what's around the edges of the in between? God, yeah. Is it just
Stones?
more rock?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
It's literally just like rocks held together. There's no like heart or organs in here.
Okay.
It's just rocks that are magically held together
Or
in the
mimicry of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
no mimicry of them. Literally just rocks. Whoever made this elemental wasn't very creative, and the earth elemental isn't too happy about that.
Yeah, take that, DM. Oh.
So, is that pretty sure that hits?
Oh, boy.
So you have a 17 AC, don't you? 16. All right. Yep. 6 damage. You are knocked down to 5.
No, this is all like, what?
What?
Ripped out
Hey,
your
beat
heart,
through.
bro.
Hey, Tarm.
Hello.
What's up?
Have you done anything?
Yeah, I've taken out half of the enemies.
Love how you've got plus flipping 6. You're really
Hey
struggling
now,
with this stone.
I
aren't you?
got a crit. My first attack in the entire campaign.
It's true.
But now that I've got an advantage, I keep dropping my sword into my other hand,
Goodness.
so I don't have to pick it up again.
He just juggles
So-
it.
Anyway.
You listen to too many Bard's Tales. You're trying to be really fancy. That first crit got you really cocky, so you're trying to like carve your initials into his back.
So Tarkus decides it's all up to him, so he raises his sickle, shaking slightly whilst at the top of his arc, and rolls a 7.
There wasn't even a pebble this time. Rinse and repeat.
Is that the best you can do?
Yep, it's you.
Um.
How's the weight of the team feeling there, Nihilus? Oh, I nearly dropped all my peanuts onto the floor. That would have been bad.
Just remind me what happened with him when an Eidolon.
He gets dismissed back to his plane.
And I have to resummon him.
Yes, you have to wait 24 hours to resummon him, I believe. I will double check.
So is it his hit points basically his grasp on this reality more than
Yes.
his
More than
survi-
anything else.
It's yeah, okay.
Kind of imagine Back to the Future.
Returns with half his normal hit points. If I don't listen back. It cannot be resummoned until the following day. Yep. So you would have to wait a full day if he keeled over.
Well, I said the next day, so technically.
Yeah, so if you died
Well,
at
like-
11:59 at night.
Mechanically, when everyone's spells reset. So like after a full night's sleep.
Okay, so basically next session.
Yeah.
Reasonably.
Like it wouldn't be in the middle of
Assuming
the
we
fight.
need sleep.
Like some magical clock doesn't suddenly go, it's midnight in the middle of the fight after your Eidolon dies and you can resummon him. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, right, okay, screw it. Rinse, repeat.
Okay, roll it.
24.
There we go. Nope.
Almost a mirror image of last time.
Yeah, roll some damage on the bite.
Wait.
11.
Oh wait. Plus 2, wait. I think I got that wrong. Sorry, take 3 off that. Big pardon.
8. Still enough.
Thank God
As
for
you, as your Eidolon struggles against this earth elemental, he finds that other keystone in the middle of the elemental, and kind of like the other side, he grabs it and then he yanks, and then the other side of his chest falls apart, and then he's left with like a single teetering tower of stones in the middle, and he wobbles a bit trying to retain his balance, and then his arm falls off, and then his other arms, and he just collapses into a pile of rubble at your feet.
No, while he was balancing like that, Nihilus just brings his tail over and just pokes him over.
Yep. And we are out of initiative.
Woo!
Oh,
You
run out.
Do you want to try again with your sneak attack on the pile of rubble?
What's the pile of rubble's perception?
missed.
There we go.
So Riku just starts wailing. Just starts
The pebbles go flying!
Alright. And then,
I'll learn you.
as suddenly as he had disappeared before, Alethar reappears directly behind Bikru.
Do I notice?
All of a sudden you do, yes. You don't see him arrive, but he's just suddenly there, and you see him.
Even though I'm
He
not
says-
facing the right way, or like, do I suddenly have just awareness that he's there?
Like
Sorry
you,
to
like you,
harp
like,
on about this.
no, you see him out of the corner of his eye, of your eye. Like you don't notice he's there until like you accidentally notice him.
Okay.
But I was presuming that you were turning and like to the others, and then you would see it out of the corner of your eye. But
Sure, why not?
anyway, he's like directly behind you. The others notice probably. He's not that hard to notice in an empty room now.
Name's Batman.
Oh, I get it now. I get it. Because he's wearing a Batman shirt. That's why you said that he was Batman, and you made a reference to that.
He made it himself!
I'm Batman on a budget. I'm
Any-
Batman from like the middle of the third film. where he
Quick,
loses
check
all
the
time.
bat account.
We're overdrawn. Shit.
To the bat cycle.
Ding ding!
You're joking. No, I'm Penguin.
And he has like a card in the spokes of the wheel, so that it feels like he has an engine.
He's definitely not using his, his sort of bat shurikens. 'Cause that
on a
shit's
budget.
expensive. You can't just throw shit away like that.
No,
He's
no,
got
he
a
throws them,
string.
but there's a string attached, so he just pulls it back each time.
Hey,
Give that back.
But anyway,
it's mine.
He's got this picture of Batman at a bank now asking for a loan.
I need this to fight crime. I mean, for my business.
I only need a cheddar.
Just 20p,
A few
mate.
pence.
I like that you go to pence.
I'm sorry, Mr. Batman. You are overdrawn. Ugh. Oh no.
Oh no!
That was more still. That was
Why don't you ask some family for help or something?
Oh dear. I'm sorry if anyone's Batman out there.
I'd think being Batman is its own reward. Sorry if anyone's Batman. So if there's any Batman watching,
Sorry, diary.
Sorry, Liam.
Oh, that reminds me, actually, while I remember, one of the contest entries was actually diary.
Aww.
I'll put a zip together, actually, and send them everything.
Yeah, I want to see those. You should send them. Anyway,
I was going to say before
Alethar.
my baby wakes up.
yeah, Alethar appears behind you, all mysterious, like for like everything else that he's done so far. And he says, "Now that was better."
Hawk is paying
Yeah.
zero attention to him. You notice him when he comes along, but he's kneeling down to his to Nihilus and just we'll say you know, checking wounds, you know, doing that, just making sure he's okay.
I was hoping that you were kidding there, Beaker, because I don't think that we have time for another
No,
encounter.
please carry on.
Alright. He says, still, the rest of your performance was less than stellar, but I don't really have any other options at this point. He's silent for a minute, and then he takes a deep breath and he says, "If you all are still up for the deal of your lives in exchange for helping me, then I will allow you a short period of time to prove that you are worth my time, in getting the first necessary ingredient for my full ascension. If that's agreeable with the four of you."
What is that?
The Sun Orchid Elixir, he says.
Do I know what that is?
Roll me. I will accept knowledge local, history, or geography.
Knowledge local, you say?
Actually, even knowledge nobility.
Knowledge local, you say?
Actually, I'll roll
Shout,
knowledge
Tiger.
local.
Knowledge local, you said.
13.
Okay, what was yours, Tarm?
Low.
History.
History. Hawks was
Local.
What about dungeon?
local. No. Alright. Tarm, once again, you're the only one out of those who have tested.
What do you mean once again?
Because it was the same thing for. Oh wait, yeah, you knew the other thing. The test of the stars.
I live on the doorstep.
I'm sorry, Mister. I'm going to turn and attempt to sneak attack a half-ascended deity.
I wasn't sneak attacking. I took off the extra +2.
Yeah, because you would have failed even worse if you had added +2.
That's true.
You would have gotten like a 2. Somehow, with a +6, you would have still ended up with a 2. You would have found a way. The
Comedy always
Sun-
finds a way.
comedy finds a way. You know for certain what the Sun Orchid Elixir is. They're south of the Inner Sea, which is where Absalon lies. There is the desert kingdom of Thuvia. Thuvia was originally very broken city-states that were constantly at war with each other until an alchemist. Hold on. Who you immediately know the name of this alchemist. He's very well known throughout the land as Articus Kieran. In 1140 AR, he created what is now known as the Sun Orchid Elixir, which uses very rare sun orchids found in the deserts of Thuvia to create a potion of sorts that temporarily halts the aging process in humanoids. Now, obviously, this
Where was it from?
Thuvia. Thuvia.
Sorry. That's got it.
And so, the local tribe leaders, known as the Water Lords, they really wanted this thing, and so the warring almost got worse as they fought over the possession of both the alchemist, who was the only one who knew how to make this, and the Sun Orchid elixirs themselves. Until eventually, in his hometown of Marab, the more civilized leaders decided that, Thuvia was a very poor country at the time, and they decided that many of the nobles of the rest of the world and those who had gold to spare would be super interested in this elixir. So they proposed a deal. Once a month, the alchemist creates 6 vials of Sun Orchid elixir, and it is transported to one of the 6 major cities of Thuvia. Each of those cities is responsible for collecting the mute and blind servant who transports these 6 elixirs to the town, and also for the auctioning off of it. From around the world, major nobles and those who are super, super, super rich. I mean, like, I have like 8 golden, like, statues of me the size of mountains, kind of rich. They go there and they buy the Sun Orchid elixirs. It's a blind auction. Everyone shouts out a number, and the top 6 bidders each get a single vial of Sun Orchid elixir. And the only person in all of Thuvia who's allowed to buy and indulge in the Sun Orchid elixir is the alchemist himself. And rumor has it that the alchemist has remained alive to this day, nearly 3,000 years later, over 3,000 years later, and is still creating these elixirs to be sold in Thuvia.
I hope he never gets bored.
It's a very obviously no one knows what the exact process is, but it's assumed to be rather vigorous because he was only able to produce 6 vials a month, and it was.
What knowledge did Tarmakus roll for this?
History.
History. So it's like a publicly known story.
Yeah, it's integral to Thuvia as it is now. Thuvia is only prosperous now because of this elixir. Is the story told as factual history, or is it sort of mythical at this point? It's kind of a combination of both, because it depends on who you hear it from, really. Because a lot of the more common folks who either don't get around a lot or don't hear from the lords or ladies.
Is it one of those too good to be true stories? Sort of
yeah,
thing?
It's one of those too good to be true stories. A lot of people dismiss it as like a hoax or just a legend or like Thuvia scamming people kind of thing. But like a lot of the noble. What was that?
That was an amazing face, Liam.
I was yawning. Oh. Close my face.
Finally, after 3 years, I got an apology. Goodbye.
But the fact that it sustains Thuvia and it's pretty much its sole source of income, because there's pretty much nothing else worthwhile in the entire nation, that there has to be some truth to it. And the fact that many a handful of nobles have outlived when they should have, or look a lot younger than they should for their age, there seems to be some scent of truth to it. So it really depends on your exposure to the story. But Tharmakos has heard it more as kind of like a history of the nation, of the kingdom of Thuvia. So the way that it would have been proposed to him is factual.
Okay. So, and he's just asked us to go and get it, hasn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
Alisara has requested 2 vials of Sun Orchid Elixir.
What would a demigod need to avoid aging for? Pardon my impudence.
It's a very complicated process. I would not expect you to understand.
More or less complicated than the creation of the elixir themselves.
That is something that is... The creation of the Sun Orchid Elixir is beyond my knowledge. Since so few people know of it currently, I have not been able to uncover its secrets myself.
I turn to the group. Well, I attempt to turn to the group, but since our beaker is being awkward.
You turn your body to most of the group. You turn your body to most of the group, but your head to Bikru. or like a single leg to Bikru and the rest of you forward.
It seems
it's a bit
friends-
forward.
It seems, friends, that we're going to Thuvia.
Do I know Thuvia?
I will say that you have heard of it and that you know that it is on the coast of the Inner Sea, but you do not know exactly where it is or too much about it.
Okay.
I assume I'm the same then about us with that.
You guys probably know it's very hot, I would imagine.
You are so far north that I will say that you have heard you have offhandedly heard its name, but you know absolutely nothing about it.
Okay.
And I will say that when Dreglin comes back, he is probably the same way, unless he has a knowledge that I'm forgetting.
Well,
So,
even
And
to be
how-
honest, even if he is, he's unconscious. So
How will the dead walk the land?
he'll just
That's a
have to
question
trust.
I'd like the answer to.
I will, for now, return your life to you for a week. Not
I
a
was pretty
oh,
weak
gosh.
to begin with.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. Is what I meant to say this entire time. So he's actually been saying 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks.
3.
Not one. No. 2 weeks. Do not press your luck, summoner.
If we do not receive the vial, then you lose as well. You need us as you said you need us as much as we need you, unfortunately.
If you spend 2 weeks and you do not manage to acquire this, then it would probably be more worth my time attempting to salvage more souls that are leaving the world than to wait for you to give me what I need.
We're not your first attempt at this, are we?
Alithar doesn't respond for a moment, and then he says, I will leave you roughly 5 miles outside of the city of Lamsara, which is where the next shipment of Sun Orchid Elixir is due in 3 days. It is currently, he says, the 20th of Calistril. The last time that you remember the date, if you are one of those date-keeping individuals, was probably in the last, 2 or 3 days or so. It was between, the 18th and the 20th that you last, recall, the day being. It is,
By the way, just out of interest, anything we get in the living world when we come back to death, would we still have that?
Are you asking this in character or out of character?
Out of
Back
character.
to death.
So, say for example, I bought, you bought like a gauntlet or something. Would you bring that with you?
What do you mean?
Well, we've got a lot
Well,
of
say
equipment
we
now.
went. Okay, we're going back to life, right? Say I don't know, I bought a sword or something. If when we come back to this death celestial plane, would I still have that item?
Well, if you're dead, it won't very much matter, will it?
Well, no, that's what I'm asking. Because if not, then there's no point in me buying anything. I
Well-
just wanted to know. So
Well, we're dead now, and we've got all of our equipment.
that's why I'm asking.
So I would imagine so, yeah.
Well, again, that's why I'm asking, though, to be sure.
Who's
You are not sure.
I was
Excuse
asking
what?
out of character, not in character.
got Niptey's gun?
Me.
So presumably we'll all spawn with what we all have now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right.
These are probably questions that, like, magic.
Well, again, like also, for example, like, why? If the thing is though, with that logic, we get the vial.
What?
I will say that you should. You have a feeling that if he is asking you to go after this vial, he probably has some plan of getting it from you to him.
Okay, I was asking out of
Whether it
character,
is
okay.
whether it is through this plane or whether it is by some other means.
Can
I will
roll
say that you
knowledge
probably
planes?
do not have to worry
then?
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you trying to figure out? like,
Okay, basically,
whether-
what I'm trying to figure out is if we go to this living world, if I get a hold of something or we bring a physical item, when we come back to this plane, would we still have it?
So what you're asking, just so I know how to answer it, what you're asking is, do you keep items while moving through planes?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just going by the logic that if we bringing up the vial and all that being a physical item, or just in case I don't want to waste any like money or anything like that.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
You are pretty sure that if you're physically moved between planes, it will probably work as though you had a teleportation spell cast on you, which would mean that all of the things on your person would be teleported as well.
Hang on, was that a success with an 8, or is this what I just think? Okay, this is what I think.
This is what the roll tells you.
Okay.
Whether or not it is factual or not, I cannot tell you,
Okay.
but that is what you believe.
Okay. Would the Eidolon have any knowledge of this?
You can roll it if you want.
I don't think he actually has knowledge. I don't think he technically does, but I don't know if just because he is an Eidolon from another plane, if he would or not.
Doesn't he have knowledge?
I haven't got it written down, but as I said, I don't know if he.
You
does.
didn't give him any points in it.
Okay.
Like
problem.
he has it, but he wouldn't be able to roll it.
No problem.
And then Alethar looks between the four of you and he says, "Do you all have any questions?"
Yo. No, I don't know.
What is this elixir?
He doesn't reiterate what I just said. That's lazy. He says the Sun Orchid Elixir is a staple of the Kingdom of Thuvia. It is a very rare substance created, to my knowledge, by only a single person in the entirety of our world's history. And I believe that I require 2 samples of this. It is something that is able to not only halt the aging process, but I believe that it has other properties as well.
And it's something so valuable, my feathered friend, that it is single-handedly propping up Thuvia's economy for thousands of years.
So we just
And we have to
stolen it.
get 2 of them.
So we're stealing it then.
How you acquire it is up to you. But you have 2 weeks to decide how that is going to be and to manage to pull it off.
Well, who cares? We're dead.
I feel like somehow this is more of a punishment to you fellows than for me.
Well, you're
Although
here
I
as
also,
well.
I also feel that the reward of our lives back would likely be less of a reward for me as it would be for you young gentlemen.
Unless you manage to get a hold of another vial.
Do you rate our chances of getting hold of 2?
Well, we can see.
You've changed your tune, my friend.
Alethar stands there silently, and he has a slight smile on his face as he listens. And then at the next break in the conversation, he says, "I'll keep in touch." And then the floor below you, the tiles disappear. Oh no, that's not solid. No, it has to be effective. The tiles below you fall apart and disappear.
Spleef!
And you fall. You fall into darkness. And thus begins.
Tarmakas is a little bit annoyed at all this hard work.
And thus begins our adventures.
Chapter Alpha.
Chapter 1 of our adventures travels through the land of Galorian.
That's the theme tune.
I cast swim.
I cast far dramatically.
Wow.
I almost fell into my trash can there. I hope it was worth it.
I cast air.
But yeah.
I cast dispersions.
Well, that was awesome.
So let's look at bonds. Did anybody accomplish
Yes!
their
Oh,
disposition?
boons.
Or-
Boons.
I'm not sure I did anything with my bond.
Beaker didn't really do anything to make me have a bad feeling about him, so... Respect for Tamakos. I didn't say it, but there was a point, I don't know whether... when... what's his name? Mage Man.
Alethar?
Alethar, that's the one. Did appear... Actually, no, you know, I didn't say an RP, so no, I won't count it.
Okay.
And Dreadlon, well... I looked at him, and I Nihilus sniffed him. So, I don't think I did any. Discover something about discovering magical mystery. If I had rolled like successfully on the vial, maybe, but no, I don't know. I don't think I got any personally.
All right. Yeah, I would say that none of the bonds were done, and none of the dispositions were filled. I think.
I wouldn't
So
say mine were. I said I wouldn't say mine were.
yeah, I don't think that yours was this time around. Let's see. So you fought.
Actually, I don't know. You endangered yourself to heal another, didn't you?
I don't think I was ever in any actual danger, to be fair. I was in general danger. I didn't get myself in the way.
Yeah, no, but you put yourself in the way of being attacked to heal. You could have just backed off and then did it next turn.
Yeah, I don't think it was particularly meaningful. Do you know what I mean? Like last week, I kind of like rushed off and spawned more bad guys in an attempt to heal them. Whereas, like this week, it was just because it was just the better option at the time anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so shall we say life threatening then? Maybe?
Yeah, it just has to be a bit more meaningful. I think if we just do it like,
I would say more danger than usual.
No,
yeah,
Like,
if you're sort of quibbling
not like-
about it, then
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel that he has fulfilled his disposition this time around.
Okay.
Let's see. Anything else? Oh, XP. So you fought off we'll say for the first elemental, the lightning elemental that you two fought, it will be 200 XP each for Tarm and for Hawk. And for the second two elementals, that will be 400 XP each for the three of you. And then I think those are the only ones that you fought today.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's that.
Yep.
Yay!
How much was
Session
it again we
two.
needed? I can't remember how much
I
was
think
it we
it's your
ended up
current
needing
level.
to level up.
It's your current level times 1,000, I think.
Yeah. Current level times 1,000.
Okay.
So I'm about
So I
halfway
think-
there.
Really?
Yeah, well, Hawk and Tamikos fought like 1 billion bloody elementals. That's what they're
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
like halfway
Oh, I'm
into
I'm
level.
glad I solved the riddles.
And you got XP for it. Okay, you know what? Freaking
No,
100
it's
XP.
fine. It's fine.
100 XP. Take it.
No.
Take it.
An extra 100
I will
or
write it on
100
your sheet.
instead of the 50 I
I
got.
will write it on your sheet if you don't.
Okay then.
100 XP.
Okay, you can write it on my sheet. Bye, everybody.
I want 100 XP.
You didn't rate your XP from last time on here either.
Sorry.
So he just doesn't care. He's complaining
does
about not
not
getting
care
enough
about
Well,
the
XP.
you said you would write it. Just now.
Just in time for the 4 hours to boot us off.
I'm already not wearing any clothes.
Das gut.
What's that?
Winner.
Wow.
Ah.
There's nowhere to take this conversation.
I'm trying to
Anyway.
remember how much XP I said for dispositions.
Well, while you do that anyway, that was awesome.
I got 50.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
I have 50. I didn't write down what it was from though.
The 50 that 50 would have been from your disposition last week. I'm sure of that,
Yay.
last month. Sorry. I'm sure of it. I think you get 50 when you do disposition.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm really amazed that the baby's not woken up at all this time.
He's really cooperating. He should get some
Yeah.
XP.
He'll wait-
250 XP for not waking up.
Oh, hold on.
when
He's
does your
only-
baby level up?
I was going to say, he's only 3
He's
weeks
level
old.
0, so he
He's-
needs
he's-
0 times 1,000 XP
He's
to level up.
3 weeks old, so he must have leveled up from there.
Well, he's already learned Acid Splash from what we've heard.
Oh,
It's not acid, it's more like just warm milk
Grease.
splash.
Warm milk
Yeah.
splash.
Yeah.
Basic splash.
Um,
This isn't
confusion.
milk
He's good at confusion, but he keeps casting it on himself. He sits there like this. His favourite, if he's not crying, eating, or sleeping, he sits there like this.
We can't
we
see
can't see you.
Oh, right, yeah, forgot about that. Oh.
Take a picture.
Boop. Hope you can see me. There we go. Oh, he sits there like this. Oh. And then sometimes I'll be holding him like this, and he'll just sort of go, like, so he'll have his head sort of like that, and my chest's here, and he'll go. With no warning. It's not like my head has suddenly lost, like my neck's tired and it kind of falls forward slowly. He's just like, well, forward's where I want to be now.
Headbutt.
And then he sort of looks up at me like, and then when he's trying to get to sleep, he tends to scratch his own face. It's quite funny to watch in a sad sort of way. It's sort of, it's just like, it's tragic as well, because you've just spent 4 hours trying to get him to sleep. You put him down, and he stirs just a little bit. He goes, and you see this hand in slow motion going up to his face, and it's like, and he goes like, my face. Doesn't actually say that. He can't say anything, but it's just like, It's so tragic. My favourite thing he does that's also incredibly tragic is he likes to suckle on his knuckles. So his hand's so small he can fit pretty much the whole thing in his mouth, and he like sits there like sucking on his hand. But because he hasn't got proper control of his hands yet, it'll just go off for a wonder. So he's like, he's quite happy sitting there like, and then his hand will be like, nope, and just go. And then he'll start crying because his hand's gone. So then you think, oh, that's pretty sad and quite funny in a twisted sort of way. Now, the worst part is when he does more or less the same thing when he's asleep, except he's not even suckling on it, right? So he's asleep like this. And his hand is on a little wander, as it does when he's asleep for some reason. It's just sort of like, and then it goes right really close to his mouth like that. And he goes, oh. But then it carries on. And he's like, and then he wakes up crying because he wanted to suckle on his hand as it passed his mouth. And you're sitting there, after about, like 30 hours of not really sleeping any decent amount, and you've just watched his knuckle wake himself up just by passing a little bit too close to his face. And you sit there and you laugh. Because if you didn't laugh, you'd cry.
You didn't knuckle dummy.
Well, he hates dummies. He won't take dummies because he's a jerk. Give him a dummy and he just goes, and like just lets it fall out of his mouth. He hates it.
Can you get like a guard for in front of his face so he can't get his hand close to it while he's sleeping?
Well, it's you're supposed to. One of the ways to put them to sleep is to swaddle them, which is to wrap them up quite tightly in a blanket so that their arms don't flail around. Because as well as the roaming arms syndrome, they've also got something called a Moro reflexes, which is where they'll keep doing this, like in their sleep, and that can wake them up as well.
What's it called?
Moro reflex.
Oh.
It's the same thing you get when you have that dream that you're falling and you suddenly just like jolt up.
Right.
It's like it's from like when it's not exactly the same, because with that one with us it's when you feel like you're going to fall out of a tree, but for babies it's the reflex that tells them that they're losing their grip on the mother, because like apes and stuff hanging on the mother.
When the bow breaks.
Be interesting if he ever sees this.
Have you managed to film any of these hilarious tragedies?
And post it on YouTube.
Tragedies.
I filmed him earlier. Sometimes he sleeps on my chest, like with his head to the side. But if he ever puts his head like facing my chest, he does this sort of head bouncy thing where he keeps going like that against my chest, like that. And then he's effectively looking for a nipple on me because he's hungry or bored. So he just sort of goes, and then the scary thing is when he gets like perilously close to my actual nipple, and then I have to call it time because I don't want him to irrevocably change our relationship.
Right, okay, just before it goes on, I'm going to stop this just because I want to make sure the footage doesn't go, because my computer's been freezing all day.
Okay.
So, we will see you later!
Bye, everybody! Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
That's brand break. Bye.
That's plan. Bye-bye. Oh, well, that was a stream.
It's quite a stream. Really enjoying it, Crane. I think it's really good.
Oh, I'm glad. I was worried.